Hey everybody, it's your friend and your guy and your favorite creator who has likable glasses, Gardiner. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop talking about my new glasses. I really like these things. I can't see anything without them. And I didn't even realize I had terrible eyesight. So, what do you think? I like them. Today we're gonna talk about ChromeOS. If you saw the title of this video and you're surprised by that, I don't know what to tell you. You must be very naive. No. macOS is losing its market share to ChromeOS. And in fact, Windows is losing its market share to ChromeOS. And you know what? I think that's probably a good thing. It's not only a good thing because there's less Windows in the world, but also because it's a good thing for us as Linux users. Now, before I get to why I think it's a good thing for us, we got to talk about the actual report. This is a report from GeekWire.com. GeekWire, they do some cool stuff, and this report is actually based on IDC market data for the entirety of 2020. Now, IDC is an industry analyst organization. They do like PC sales, they do digital trends and stuff like that. And if you want to read it, there's going to be a link down in the description. So according to this report, Windows had 87.5% of overall PC sales in Q1 of 2020. And macOS at the same time had 5.8%, and ChromeOS was right on its heels at 5.3%. But in Q2 of 2020, things took a bit of a different tack. Microsoft lost nearly 6 points, coming in at 81.7% of overall sales, with macOS growing to 7.6% and ChromeOS leaping to 10% of overall PC sales. That's laptops, that's also desktops and workstations. That's kind of an impressive number, especially for a Linux-based operating system. I don't know if it's fair to call it a distro, but it's a Linux-based operating system. And that trend actually bore out across the next 2 quarters. I mean, even with Apple releasing their M1 powered Macintosh, when they released the M1 powered Macs, the market share was at 8.1 or 8.2% for macOS, and it was at 10% for ChromeOS. And by the end of 2020, Windows was selling 76%, macOS was selling 7.7%, and ChromeOS was at 11.5% of all laptops, desktops, and workstations sold in the final quarter of 2020. Now, this is the percentage of all laptops, desktops, and workstations sold during that time. But if you look at the overall landscape of install base, it's a little bit different. Year over year, Windows lost about 5% of the market share, sitting at 80.5%, where ChromeOS is at 10.8% and macOS is at 7.5%. Now, I think that this is a very interesting time for us. To kind of pause and reflect. I mean, I can hear a lot of you guys saying like, well, this is ChromeOS. Who cares? This is not a real Linux distro. It's ChromeOS. And I get that. I can feel that. I dig that sentiment, honestly. I don't like it or trust Google, just like the next one of us out here. But at the same time, it kind of confirms this hypothesis that I have had for a little while. I don't think that people, like your average everyday person, I don't think that people are really that prejudiced when it comes to Linux. I really don't think that that's the case. The fact of the matter is, your average run-of-the-mill person, your average consumer, if you will, are the ones that drive market share and adoption. And your average person also doesn't really care to know that there's a difference between Windows, macOS, Linux. They don't really care. They don't think of an operating system as an independent product that you can swap out. People just want a computer that works like an appliance. And while there definitely are manufacturers out there that are shipping PCs with Linux installed on them, like System 76 or Purism or even Dell, they're not mainstream. ChromeOS is mainstream though, and it shows that people aren't opposed to having a Linux desktop. And you do have these boutique manufacturers like Purism and System 76 and even Dell to some extent, but they're not putting their products on the shelves at Walmart. And that's really where the differentiator is. I've always maintained that Linux adoption Linux desktop market share would grow when large manufacturers, large OEMs, would ship one distro on a line of PCs and they would all be sold at Walmart. And I think that is kind of what's going on here. We can see that bearing out. ChromeOS has finally surpassed macOS in terms of total overall sales, and also in terms of market share. And it's because major OEMs like Samsung and LG and Lenovo and even Dell and HP all have their own ChromeOS lines that are selling PCs with ChromeOS on them. And ChromeOS continues to gain functionality. And really the thing is, while there might be like a special interest group of like PC gamers who really care about having optimal compatibility with their entire Steam library, I don't think that they're like the real setback. I don't think the fact that you have to use Proton on Linux is a huge setback for us. And I don't think that not having the Adobe Cloud on Linux is a setback for us. I think that the major setback for us as a community for Linux market share adoption is that major OEMs are not shipping Linux distros as a first-class citizen alongside Windows machines. If Samsung and Lenovo and HP had settled on, we're going to ship Ubuntu on 10% of all of our machines and we're going to sell them at retail, that would be a game changer for Linux adoption. That's borne out here, I think, in this data. But the question that comes up in my mind now is, now that ChromeOS has a greater install base than macOS, how's Adobe going to respond to that? Because really, I've thought this for a while. I've thought that the Adobe Cloud is probably going to move to WebAssembly and PWAs for a long time. I've thought that for a while. And I think that makes sense for ChromeOS. If Adobe wants to meet that demand, I think that makes sense for them, especially now that macOS is third in line. And when that happens, when Adobe Creative Cloud comes to the web browser rather than native apps, it'll be available for Linux. I still don't think that'll drive adoption, though. Like I said, people don't really think about their operating system. Most people aren't enthusiastic enough to figure out how to boot off a USB drive, let alone install their own operating system. So if we want to see like actual real growth in the Linux market share for operating systems worldwide, some company has to step up and start selling machines at retail. System 76, I'm looking at you. And I'm not just talking on their website, but like getting them on Newegg, getting them on Amazon, getting them in stores. That's where people buy their machines. And also, ChromeOS's functionality has continued to grow. I mean, you can install deb packages on ChromeOS now. My roommate was actually able to install Steam on his Chromebook before him and I ever lived together. I never told him how to do it. He never asked for my help. He was just able to do it. That's kind of impressive to me. I mean, but still, a guy who's like not really that technically savvy can install Steam on his laptop running ChromeOS. I think that's pretty cool. But the thing is, while, Windows still has like an overwhelming majority of the desktop sphere, it's quickly losing out. And I think that's because basically everyone I know recognizes how terrible Windows 10 really is. Windows is super slow, and it's getting slower with every update. It's also becoming less reliable, where updates are being pushed that delete people's user data, their settings, like critical information from their machines. How is that acceptable? It's not. And people realize that. So, and people are more open-minded than they ever have been when it comes to operating systems. But again, most people don't care to ever change their operating system. Most people only want an appliance computer. They don't even think of the operating system as its own product. So I don't know. These are my thoughts. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. I think it'll be interesting to see if this trend continues after the pandemic. I think PC sales for the quarter before the coronavirus were had actually grown. over the previous quarter, and that's pretty cool. But I don't know if this will continue after. I'd love to know what you guys think about this. I don't know. Would it be fair to call 2020 the year of the Linux desktop? I don't think so. Not quite. But I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. So yeah, I wanted to say thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I want to give a special shout out to Marcus Batson. He's one of my top tier Singularity members over on Patreon. If you believe in the work that I do, like Marcus and the rest of these guys over here do, head over to Patreon. It really helps the show out. You can make a monthly pledge. You can make an annual pledge if that's more your speed. And if you go to the right reward tier, you'll actually get your name listed over here as well. There's some really nice little flair next to everybody's names. This is a cool little app that I built for myself to just kind of show my appreciation, my affection for all the people who have made this channel into what it is today. So thanks, guys. I think that's going to do it for now, though. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're so inclined. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed day.